last session, we have come up with a discussion on the SQL server that provides two types of environments. Okay. In the two types of environments, one was called standalone environment, and second is called clustering environment. Standalone environment, and I had some differences to identify between standalone and clustering environment. Nothing I discussed about clustering. The only thing that we have studied in my last session with an example to identify and understand how standalone environment will be. So I mentioned very clearly, standalone environment is helpful for small companies and they have only one production server, whereas clustering environment is helpful for large companies and they have more than one production server. More than one in the sense, if it till SQL Server 2008, we used to have 16, and from SQL Server 2012, that limit also Microsoft has removed. Now we don't have a limit, no limit for servers. And this was the architecture I covered to make you understand how standalone environment will work for us. Yes. And I said yesterday, comparison that we had between a front-end team and back-end team, right? Front-end and back-end. You can see the work process, you can say like comparison, I'm saying like the work will be managed by front-end people. They have their efforts of 70%. Back-end people are going to manage their work with the 30% of that. Why? Yesterday I clearly mentioned that whenever you establish primary server, whenever you establish standby server, whenever you configure mirroring, lock shipping, replication, always on, these all things daily we don't do. It is one-time process. One time, accurately, thoroughly, you do over. The work is over. We don't repeat the task again and again. That is the reason I compared that our efforts are only 30%. And yesterday I have shown you, right? Ticketing tools. Many are there. I gave some examples there. HPSD, Kayako, BMC Remedy. These all are ticketing tools. Whenever server is failed, immediate a mail will be sent to client, to application team, to DBA. If you are at office, you try to rectify the issue there itself. If you are not at office, at least you get an intimation that you get an information that so and so server has been failed. So instantly you can react and try to rectify that problem. Yeah, yesterday the whole discussion was only on this part about standalone. Today we are going to discuss about roles of DBA. Roles of DBA, including, you can say like this as well, whatever the roles and responsibilities I write now to make you understand in each phase of administration, in each category of administration, that itself will make you understand that those are even topics for our practical approach. What is it? First work, installation and configuration of SQL Server. First part, installation and configuration. Both I'm saying, both. Can I ask questions related to today? Yeah. Shall I open that architecture, Kajal? Yeah. Go ahead, please. No issues. Shall I open that architecture?
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. सर जैसे कि सर्वर रहता है उसमें प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी रहता है. ओके.
Yes.
सो मेरा डाउट है कि प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी कैसे फाइंड करेंगे कि कौन से सर्वर पे प्राइमरी है और कौन से सर्वर पे सेकेंडरी है.
Hmm. Hmm.
इन रियल लाइफ में मुझे भी बहुत सारे ऐसा मतलब एरर फाइंड करने को होता है ना. तो
Hmm.
अगर प्राइमरी पे स्टैंड बाय है तो फिर अगर श्रिंकिंग करना रहता है या कुछ करना रहता है तो फिर मेरे मतलब हो नहीं पाता है और फिर मुझे पता नहीं चलता है कि इसका प्राइमरी कौन सा है.
Hmm.
तो प्राइमरी फाइंड करने के लिए कौन से मतलब क्या करेंगे कि जिससे पता चल जाएगा कि वो प्राइमरी है.
Hmm. Okay. Remember two things, especially when you're working in an administration environment, compulsory on every particular module, on every particular topic, compulsory you should have a very clear idea about your system views. About your system views. And those system views will explain you how or which particular machine is going to work as primary, which particular machine is going to work for what you call secondary server, who will support us. The only concept that will give you an idea is system views. You got me?
या सर बट उसका कोई क्वेरीज वगैरह नहीं रहता है क्या.
हाँ, वही तो बोल रहा हूँ ना मैं. व्यू का मतलब ही है क्वेरी लिखना.
ओके.
अभी मैं आपको एक आइडिया देता हूँ, आपको जस्ट फॉर नॉलेज. ये देखो, just for knowledge, एक मिनट, just so that you'll get idea what exactly your point only I'm trying to discuss. Say for example, I have one database here. Okay, say for example DB12, it is one database. Tables, can you see these tables, Kajal? Can you see these all tables list? Can you see?
Okay.
Right, so almost you can say like I got around 15-20 tables here. Okay, अब मेरा concern, what is my concern is, in these tables, how should I know that which table is containing foreign key constraint? How should I know that which table is a parent table, which table is a child table in it? So obviously by seeing the table, you may not be knowing it. By seeing the columns, you may not be knowing it. Compulsory, you should have idea on the concept of what? System views. Like you can say, select star from sys dot foreign keys. Select star from sys dot sys foreign keys. These are your system views that will guide us to get information of whatever you need on your server environment. You don't need to ask anyone if you are well enough to carry a knowledge, that too with a thorough idea of whatever things you need to have, you need to implement to identify what type of server you're working with, which is your primary server, which is your standby server. This is all you can get to know only with the support of views. Okay, Kajal?
Yes.
Yeah. Anything
Sir.
else you want to ask?
No sir. Thank you.
Yes. And according to this picture what I have drawn, Kajal, I said that this is my primary server. This one, the first one. Can you see this one?
Yes sir,
Here.
I watched yesterday video. Java video.
Okay, chalo, right. Yeah, and before I go further, remember, especially for installation and configuration of SQL Server, in my classes, whenever I start my practical sessions, probably in a day or two, I'll start practicals. And in that, remember, installation, we will cover in all three ways. All three. What is it? we will see what is attended installation and what is unattended installation. And then we learn what is silent installation. This is completely wizard based, or you can better call completely through installation center. And this is installation center with plus configuration file through command line. This is completely through command line. Yes, 3 approaches we'll study. You understand? Not people what they do in real time. They don't make management studio available on the server environment, because that makes user friendly. If people are there, like if they can easily disturb your server by interacting. So what people do, they try to manage server through command based process only, through command based, and that they take support of PowerShell. But managing server through PowerShell requires quite a very huge experience, because PowerShell you are not provided with any user-friendly environment, completely syntax-based. You should excel. You should excel in writing syntaxes. That too, very thorough syntaxes. Then only you'll be in a position to manage. In 1 or 2 companies when I visited for the training on DBA, I have seen the senior DBAs. They don't, especially on the server environment, they don't touch management studio at all. Everything they try to manage only through commandlets. PowerShell using commandlets. So this is one part. Just I listed later, however, we are going to discuss. And remember, as a DBA, this part includes compulsory versions of SQL Server. You should be aware of which edition will be suitable for the requirement of your, environment. Sometimes it may happen that one project is being developed in .NET, and that .NET team needs one database. So definitely they are front-end developers. They have knowledge of programming. So they cannot manage everything on database is being created. Database has to be created on server environment. You understand? And what project they're doing, which edition will be suitable for their project. This decision also we only should take. That front-end team only will ask you, saying that our project needs one database. The database is going to be performing with so and so operation. So and so people will be working on the database. Just that intimation or that information will be shared with you. You analyze, you take decision and go with the process. Then follow pre-installation steps. And then you go with installation process. After that, post-installation steps, because before installation, you're required to do some activities in real time. And after installation also, you're supposed to do some activities in real time. So when I explain, now when you talk about such type of things, so obviously this requires a pre-installation. Normal Windows, you don't require this all. No, we don't talk about any pre-installation, post-installation steps. That could be hardly what we study. Could be, hardware and software requirements that to follow in the installation step. That's it. But When you install your SQL Server in real time, 100%, you require to follow some pre-installation steps. Will you do that? No, no. Pre-installation step will be managed by Windows Server Administrator. You are not Windows Server Administrator. You are a DBA. You are involved in database activities. You are not supposed to touch Windows Server operating system. Any Windows Server things, you ask that administrator. He will do it for you. And you use those things to install SQL Server. That is the reason. I'll explain. When I start coming classes, we have all these things practically to discuss. And after that, 3 configuration things we discuss. Server level configuration, database level configuration, and connection level configuration. But this includes my fundamental sessions on administration classes. After this, I go with the working of SQL Server databases. Yes. For us, for us, especially for DBA, what is a database? For DBA, I'm saying, for DBA, what is a database? Compulsory. You should have both areas, you should be aware of both areas. What both areas? Listen, logical collection of objects and physical collection of what? Files. You cannot say that I'm DBA, I focus only on file. No, server is in your control. You are the one who is going to hold your complete access to database. So you should have both discussions, both awareness, logical level discussion. Logical level also you should be aware of. Physical level also you should be aware of. You can't skip any. You can't skip any of these two. Both are needed for you. What about developer? Developer don't talk about physical. He is unaware of physical. He knows only about logical. That is the reason coming classes, I'm going to talk both the things in our process. Types of databases. Yes. Types of databases. Developer knows only one thing. What is it? He is aware of user-defined database. And if he is little experienced, he may have some knowledge on system databases. But system databases may also, he may be aware of few things. But DBA should have in-depth knowledge of every system database. Compulsory. Even I'm going to explain all three will discuss system databases, user-defined databases, plus practice-related databases. Yes. Then compulsory, you should know storage structure, architecture, whatever you want to write, both are same only. Storage architecture. Developer will be unaware of this point. Unaware. He is least bothered. He only knows how to store data. He only knows how to modify data, how to delete data, where it is storing, how it is storing, how it is internal. This all is your work. Your work it is. Then transaction processing. Transaction processing में what developer knows? Developer knows only these things. Developer knows only these things. How to commit, how to work with implicit transaction, how to work with explicit transaction, right? And how to work with isolated transaction. He is aware. I'm talking about developer. Developer will be aware of only about overview kind of thing, like implicit transaction, explicit transaction, isolated transaction, what is commit, what is rollback, what is save tran, what is begin tran, and what do you call what are committed transactions, what are uncommitted transactions, those things he's aware of. He is not aware. He is not aware of this. DBCC, show content. No, 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 no. He is not aware. You should know this. You should know. DBCC, all the process you should be aware of. Physical level, this is physical level. Pages, extents, switches, average. Can you see here? Scanning EMP. Oh, list will come. List. Every table's information. These things, that fellow will not be aware. You will be learning all this. You should have a knowledge on all this. Do you really feel that he's aware of something related with background processes? Definitely not. Definitely not. He won't aware. He won't be aware of it. He just knows only how to manage transaction. But you should know. You should know. What you should know? Yes. Now I'll show you something called activity monitor. Processes, all the database, whichever are working, you'll be getting that information. Either you manage to work on this activity monitor tool or you work on scripting. Select a star from sys.sys processes. Yes. These things he don't know. Developer will not do. This is your task. Your task. All background processes, whichever you come across in your transaction, that you should be aware of. Lazy writer, log writer, and then creating and maintaining what? User databases. See, hardly 4 topics I mentioned, hardly 4 topics. But that 4 topics will eat away at 10 days, 10 days classes, they eat away. Working of SQL Server databases, 10 to 12 sessions, just like that, they eat away. That elaborative architecture point of view, I'm saying. Practical to different level. Third, oh, this is most important. Security in SQL Server. You know one thing, as far as this administration part is concerned, this is what my experience says. Like, not necessary, that every company you will be made to work on all the environments of administrators. No. Sometimes I have seen such type of people as well. People complete 1 year of experience, 2 year of experience. They only handle security related things only in the administration. Any security, for example, if I'm there, they assign me a job saying that any security related things, contact Shareef. Any database related things, contact Kajal. Any backup related information, contact Sandesh. Any performance related things, contact Salini. Whether it is a small issue, big issue, whatever, I'm informed. I will be informed about that security things. Slowly, work gets swapped. Like slowly, they say, now Kajal, you go to security things, Shareef will come to database related things. Now I'll be taking up all the database related operations. You will be taking up all security related operations. And as and when years passed, in experience, by the time you complete all the handling process in these areas, then definitely a day comes, you will be in a position to consider as a senior DBA at all levels your experience now. What do you deal in security? Obviously, we talk about logins. What logins? 2, either Windows login or SQL Server login. Windows login, SQL Server login. Then users, roles, permissions, schemas, और क्या आता है इसमें? What else? Auditing, then encryption and decryption, TD, transparent data encryption, TD, and what else we come across? Policy based management, yeah, etc. Lot of things are there, etc. Security with these all things. Till you're placed, you should have knowledge of both, please. Both. Command-based approach also you should know. I mean, script-based approach also you should know. Wizard-based approach also you should know. Once you are in the job, once you are hired, you're slowly carrying some experience, then forget about it. People usually take support of wizard-based process only instead of writing query and managing. Obviously, for certain extent we can manage, but what about the situation where you want to get information about the other things available on server? Then you are supposed to write a query that you cannot manage with server, you cannot manage with the wizard process. You have to write a query for that. And when you write a query, definitely you should have knowledge of writing queries. You understand? These things will be a part of what? Yes. Then fourth, we talk about disaster recovery planning. This includes backup, recovery, and restore. Yes. Backup mein, lot of things are there that as a DBA you should be aware of. What? First thing I would say, you should know about backup terminologies. Fundamental. You are not aware of this, then it will be difficult for you to clear interviews. If you're not aware of this. First part. What it includes? Yeah, this terminologies, you should know what is offline and what is online backups. Offline backup, they use a term cold backup. Online backup, they call hot backup. Yeah. Then you should know what. Yes, you should know about what is called backup file. Then you should know what is called backup component. Then you should know what is called backup device. Or you should know what is media set. Then you should know what is backup set. First fundamental, if you ask me, under this process is first to be clear on the terminologies. Forget about practical, that will come in your way when you start. But when you're doing practical also, you should be aware now what is that we are doing in the practical. And that practical will help you in comparison with these terminologies. Yeah. Then we will study what types of backups. Oh, this is second part. Types of backups. This includes full backup. This includes differential backup. Then we talk about transaction log backup. Then we should know copy only backup. Then you should know mirrored backup. Then you should know file and file groups backup. Then you should know what is called split backup. Today in 8 o'clock batch, I started this topic, this module we started actually today only in our batch. I started for them about this backup, restore, recovery process for them. So today at 8 o'clock batch, I'm saying here 8 o'clock. Yes, exactly. We are here now. Can you see? Here, types of backup. These all backup terminologies: online, offline, backup file, backup device, backup component, backup sets, types of backups. You know, we are going with that topic in the bash. And then you should know. Then you should know what that is, something related with migration of database and server. Uh, Then we go with about automation tasks. This includes jobs, alerts, automation. What do you call this automation? There is one tool, there is one component that will be installed during SQL Server. SQL Server agent. SQL Server agent. Jobs, alerts, operators, DB mail. Jobs में lot of things. Internal connection. Jobs में internal connection. Jobs, steps, scheduling. Sixth, high availability. High availability. In this, I focus. DB mirroring. Okay. Replication. Then log shipping. Then always on clustering. Seven. This is about performance, monitoring, tuning, and troubleshooting. So this the lot of experience required. We cannot say, you are sometimes, 8+ years of experience. Sometimes performance, especially the last one, it's very critical part of administrator. Only this will be handed over to look. I mean, especially this part will be managed or will be taken care only by DBAs. That too, they focus completely on the production server, which is 24/7, 365 days, which is up and running. Just like that, everyone is not allowed to look into this, especially this area. You understand? Troubleshooting errors, and identifying performance issues, applying tuning techniques, Lot of things are there in this, lot of things. You should know very clear. You should be very clear on understanding indexes. You should know when you're aware of indexes, then you should know very clear about statistics. Sometimes index is good, statistics is not updated, then performance slowly comes down. You should be monitoring. If you look into another level of this, sometimes this may be a situation. Two developers, they are working in one team. And they're working on a database which is containing millions and millions and millions of data available. And this may happen real time with a lot of issues. That is about concurrency. Who takes care of? We should take care of. Developer simply calls you. He calls you and say, "Arey, morning I was working on this table. It was showing me this so and so data. By evening at same query I'm writing that it's not giving me data. It's not giving me the data." Then you approach to server. You look into server. So you should know what locking mechanism, shared locks, deadlock, and what do you call exclusive lock, intent lock, object locking, database locking. And you are going to set the priorities for your deadlock priorities: high priority, critical priority, low priority. We got options available. And you are the one who is going to set the transaction isolation levels. We are involved in that. In that also types are there. Isolation, transaction isolation level, read committed, read uncommitted, something called serializable. You understand? These all comes under performance. That is the reason what I did is, especially this last module, I made available with 2-3 documents for that, 2-3 documents. So that in the documentation also, step by step, I covered all the things. How to identify bottlenecks, server level pe how to identify bottlenecks, memory level mein what is the issue, processor level mein what is the percentage of, you have to see how to identify the performance issues at a database level, log file level, everything. Lot of, I'm saying, this is what my experience I'm saying. Even you're done with 8+ years of experience, you cannot say that you have become a master of resolving issues at performance level. Sometimes issue will be at some level, will be searching that issue at some other level. Slowly, step by step, you resolve. Then you come to a point where that process you can slowly can resolve. Like direct, it will not be possible. Step by step approach me, you'll get to know about it. Developers will not be having idea. What they do, they see that their query, because developers, I'm talking to developers, those people, they write the query, they test the query, and they test the query with these two tools: profiler, database engine tuning advisor. Developer, I'm saying, he writes a query, and after writing a query, before sending the query to live production, that query has to be tested. But they test the query with profiler and database engine tuning advisor. And in database engine tuning advisor, that fellow will come to know that his query is not going with perfect, sufficient, execution speed. Then it will guide, it will advise him that please do this so that query gets improved. Then that fellow, whatever it suggests, that fellow will add. And what it will suggest, it will suggest him to create index. He'll create one index. Then again, some decrease, some performance improve. Again, it will add one more index. That fellow will not think his target is to improve performance. He adds index. A date, definitely a point comes, because of heavy indexes on the table, performance of a server goes down. very recently, this is what I have come across in my experience. I'm saying this is one of the incident just now, which I took for an example, is one of the experiences which I have come across in one of the companies. The company, actually, they got their head office in Middle East. Middle East, they got their head office. And they got their branch in Hyderabad. This was an issue that was this people have faced. And because of that, too many indexes created by a developer on a table, almost that fellow has created around 50 to 60 indexes in one table. Limit is up to 1,000. He created 50, 60 indexes. His target was to make a query work with perfect execution speed. And he just keep on adding. With that, performance has come down. And that because of that, the Middle East, their main head office server got affected of it. Then through some channel, through some source, they have come across, to meet with me. Then I just visited the office. Then I found all the issues on the server level. Okay, this is clear for you. Everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next class में we'll discuss about life cycle of database implementation. Life cycle. Actually, I covered this. You can also go through it. It's not a afternoon development class. May I discuss this? Because for them, I was explaining what is that they are going to do in the development level. In that today only I covered that today. Life cycle today only I discussed this part for them. Designing, development, then administration. So whatever responsibilities today I was explaining, in roles of DBA, that is your last part. Database maintenance, monitoring, troubleshooting, server database issues, no downtime, no data loss, no performance issues, no connectivity, no security problems. We are involved in this area. And developer work, you see, he's talking about coding, writing queries, debugging, implementation of database, testing database. That is his responsibility. He's not bothered. Data loss, he don't care. Data loss is not your job. Data loss happens, you are responsible. You recollect the data. You make your database available. Okay? So next topic was actually connecting with that. I just mentioned it. And when I share my notes, I'll just share that picture with you so that you can go through that. Okay?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, as you said, you gave one example that one fellow adding multiple indexes on one table.
Yes.
Okay. How we can find the right number of indexes we can apply on one single table?
Actually, the situation was not always, index is the only solution to improve performance. That was first fundamental point that you should be aware as a developer. Index is one alternate solution to improve performance. But index is not the only solution to improve performance.
Okay.
You understand? Because one index, two index, fine, manageable. Three index, manageable. Doesn't mean like Microsoft has given a limit to have 1,000 indexes. Doesn't mean like you put all indexes in one table and create a lot of nuisance on the table and you lose complete access on your server. There are many alternate mechanisms first you should take care of. In that, one of the fundamental point that was missing in their database to which I visited, when I visited to the company, when I checked their database, the fundamental point that developers were doing a mistake is they haven't created even a single schema for their database. How will you manage many people's work on one schema? That will create a lot of pressure on one schema. when more people are working on a database, don't put all of them in one schema. You segregate your work and distribute the work on different schemas so that one person's work may not disturb other person's work. Second level, second thing, if you're not still gone with your schema level distribution, think about dividing your things at physical level. That is what SQL Server says, that don't manage everything on a single file group. That may put you in trouble. Better when more people are working on it, working on single database, divide their work even at physical level also. Logical level also you divide with the schemas. Physical level also you divide with the help of what? File groups.
Sir, what is file group?
That we'll discuss.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll study. That is practical part.
Okay. Means, sir, performance increases not only by the indexes. We have to think on all the
I said 2 points here. I said performance improvement cannot be only with indexes.
Yes.
You understand? And you know one thing, as a for our batch I'll cover. I mean, generally I'll cover in administration, because development level I don't feel that people must talk about indexes. But I'll show you one of the examples which I covered in one of my batches very recently. The batch is it's about to end, but I covered for them. I don't know whether I've saved that picture or not. 3 p.m. May. 1 second. I don't know whether I saved or not. Working of non-clustered index. One index story, this much is happening. One index. Table is here, index is here, statistics here. And whenever you do a search process, 100% internally, your SQL Server is going to make one tree that is called binary tree. And based on that binary tree process, the searching process will work. And imagine one index, this much process. If you're keeping 20, 30 indexes on the table, people feel that performance will improve. Performance will go down rather.
Yes, sir. Means, sir, first we try by alternate method. And last,
database, if you are a good DBA, you don't target index first. First, you target physical level distribution properly, logical level distribution properly, right? Proper constraints to be managed. Check for what are the other things that may affect towards memory related points. These all things you consider. Then ask that fellow to write a query. Then you find that instead of going with slow execution, manageable execution will be there. Then you add one index, automatic performance will improve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, what is difference between performance tuning and query optimization?
See, first point, remember, query optimization will be one of the factors under performance. Do you understand? And yes, for that query optimization, you know one thing, every query, in my introduction class itself, I'll cover that part. Every query, whenever you write a query, that query will undergo a process of 10 steps. Any query you write, 100% that query will undergo with how many? 10 step process it will happen. 10 step process. After that, query will go for execution. And in that 10-step process, for an administrator, you should know 4. 4, you be clear, 4. You understand? In that four, one is parsing. Second is resolving. Bus. Ye 2 levels over. Third one is the intelligent component of SQL Server. Third one I'm saying. You can rather simple words, you can say the third one is brain of SQL Server. That is what you call optimization. And fourth one is execution. Parsing, resolving, optimizing, executing. 4 ही बात कर रहा हूं मैं. Only 4 I'm saying. Actually 10 I said. 6 I'm not talking. At this stage, let's not put. That may create confusion. Later I'll talk.
Yes, sir. Sir, हम इस और टॉपिक के डिटेल में दिखेंगे नहीं.
हाँ, अरे यार मैं बताऊंगा. डोंट वरी. I'm here. Don't worry. आप मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना. You carry patience with you. I'm here. I'll excel in everywhere. Every topic I'll excel. You carry patience. वो एक ही काम करो. प्रैक्टिस करो आप. डाउट जो डाउट है मेरे को बोलो. मैं will try to resolve it.
Yes. सर, ये क्वेरी परफॉर्मेंस एंड ऑप्टिमाइजेशन होता है. ये मतलब मोर और मतलब किस मतलब डेवलपर एंड डीबीए, ये जो मतलब परसेंटेज होता है वेटेज की, किसकी ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, दोनों की कॉम्बाइन फिफ्टी?
एक्चुअली ये पूरा कंट्रोल अपने पास ही रहेगा.
डीबीए के
कंट्रोल विल बी विद अस ओनली. वो उसमें डेवलपर का काम थोड़ा ही रहेगा. डेवलपर्स वर्क विल बी वेरी लेस, बट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में पूरा अपन देखना है. ये दिस इज नॉट इन्वॉल्व विथ एनी एक्टिविटी रिलेटेड विथ डेवलपमेंट लेवल. मैं वहीं देर ओनली आई गेट पजल विद द पीपल हु आर ऑलरेडी ट्रेनिंग ऑन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन.